This is the first beat that most folks learn at the drums. That's a great beat and there's nothing wrong with it. It's called the money beat for a reason. You can use it in everything from rock to rap to pop. But I think it's actually probably one of the worst beats to teach a beginning drum set player. Hey everyone, my name is Jason DeCristofaro. If you're just tuning into this channel, thanks so much for watching. This video is really designed for anybody who's interested about drums, but it's specifically geared towards drum set educators, particularly those who are working with beginning drum set students. But if you're a beginning drum set student and you're looking to learn a first beat other than the money beat, which you can find plenty of videos on YouTube for, this is an alternative first beat. And I've used this with many students over the last decade in drum set lessons. And I think this is the thing that really helps to develop many of the skills that drum set players need that often get overlooked in the early stages of learning drum set. So let's talk about first the money beat and why I'm not thrilled with it as the beat of choice. The first reason is that usually you play those eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, on the hi-hat with the dominant hand. So I'm right-handed, so I first learned to play this with the right hand. Again, nothing wrong with that except that your dominant hand is your strongest muscle, so to speak, right? This would be the equivalent of going to the gym and you're working on your strongest muscle grouping more than the weaker, right? That just doesn't make sense from a development standpoint, especially when you have 3 other limbs to develop. Speaking of the other 3 limbs, the left hand, which is my non-dominant hand, is getting way less of a workout than my right hand, only playing on the back beat, beats 2 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So it's not getting that much of a workout. And my right foot, right? We have to also work our feet as drum set players. My right foot's only playing on beats 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not much of a workout. And my left foot's not doing anything. So in my mind, this is not a way to develop technique. It's also a very dynamically flat beat. There's no accents, there's no unaccented notes, there's no shaping or phrasing. So while it is certainly a money beat, and it's an important beat to learn because drummers will need to know this for gigs in a variety of styles, I think from a technical standpoint, the beat that every drum set student should first learn is this beat. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Now, for those of you who are pausing the video and saying, wait, you want students to learn that as the first beat, right? Some folks who are new to this may say, I've heard that beat before. Drum set teachers, I'm sure you know what I just played. That is the train beat. Now, before you're all saying, Jason, that's too fast, you expect a beginning student to play that, please note that when I work on this beat with students, we start very slow. But there's several reasons that I think the train beat, and this is something that you hear in a lot of styles of music, most notably old school country, I think is the best beat for beginning students to learn. A side note, I am not really a country music fan. Even though I'm from East Tennessee originally, it's just not my personal thing, not something that really speaks to me. But the reason I like this beat is because you learn several elements of drum set playing. The first thing I really like about it is that you're using all 4 limbs, including the feet. So many early drum set beats have one foot, if any of the feet, doing anything, and usually it's the right foot just playing 1 note per measure. Or 2 notes per measure. What I love about this is that both the right foot and left foot are going the entire time, keeping a steady quarter note pulse. So this is also a great way for students to internalize a basic 4-4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 pulse in their feet. This is a great way to build these lower 2 limbs that often get neglected while also helping to internalize a steady pulse. So right off the bat, that's something I think is really important. The second thing I think is important is that the hands are moving, and even at a slower tempo, they're moving in a constant motion. So they're getting a constant workout. So for example, I'm playing eighth notes in the snare while my feet are playing quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Hands are playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, right? So even just as a basic exercise or a basic warm-up, this is something that can really benefit students at a beginning level, right? For students who are right hand dominant, I encourage them to actually play 1, 2, 3, 4, keep the feet the same, but lead with the left hand. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Right? And being able to go back and forth. Right? This is a great way to also develop coordination on a very foundational level. Now, the other thing I really like about this beat, even when we do it under tempo, before we get it up to tempo, is that it involves dynamic shaping. I think this is one of the most important and yet overlooked elements of drum set education. A lot of time is spent focused on limb coordination, learning different patterns, different rhythmic ideas. All of this is critical. Don't get me wrong. This is a necessary part of learning the instrument. But a part that I wish more educators spent time on, at least in my experience when I talk to other educators and see how other educators work on this instrument, is dynamics, essentially volume. Right? A lot of beats are just flat. They just kind of stay at the same volume the whole time. Nothing wrong with that, but I think students can learn musicality and phrasing and dynamic shaping right from the onset. And one of the things I love about the classic train beat, and again, this is a great old school country beat, you can hear it on, I think the most famous example is Johnny Cash's Folsom Prison Blues, is it's not just steady eighth notes that don't change dynamics. It's not flat like this. There's actually accented notes and unaccented notes that give a sort of melodic shape or sense of phrasing. So the pattern essentially goes like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. This is something that's also good because you're not just doing an accent in the dominant hand, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. So you're also getting the student to play accents in their non-dominant hand. 1 and 2 and under tempo. Right? This is something that you can also lead into a discussion with students about unaccented notes or ghost notes, those really soft notes that require a lot of control, right, at a very low stick height, soft volume, right, as well as accented notes, right, where you're using a higher stick height, and depending on the technique you use, drum set educators, you might use Muller technique, et cetera, et cetera. It's a great way to talk about how to get accents. Accents and ghost notes, any drum set player, any professional drum set player or drum set educator knows these are critical, and yet we often wait till later lessons to teach this. You can start teaching this concept right away with this beat. So what I'm going to do is play this open to closed. This is another great concept just right off the bat in lesson 1 with this groove that you can get students to learn. Playing slow to fast. This is basically a single stroke roll with a very specific accent pattern. Right? So for those folks who are just here to learn the beat and want to see what the beat is, I'm going to start very slow and then gradually speed it up to the train tempo. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So forth, right? Now, even if students can't get that to that tempo right away, that gives them also a goal they can really work towards, right? And you can talk about things like make sure you don't tense up, right, as you get faster, right? Make sure that you're maintaining the same stick height, all those good things. So again, I'd love to hear from other folks here. If you're a beginning drum set player, please feel free to leave a comment about your experience learning this beat. If you are a drum set educator, I'd love to hear your thoughts about how this beat as a first groove as opposed to the money beat is working with your students. And everyone else, just feel free to leave a comment on your thoughts. Enjoy the video. Thank you all so much, and have a great day.